This is a HeadGum podcast.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to A Funny Feeling Podcast. I'm Betsy Sidaro.
And I'm Marcy Jarrow. This is a podcast where comedians tell us their paranormal experiences, and we listen to yours as well.
Oh, yeah. And if you have one of these paranormal experiences that you want to share with us, please email it to us at funnyfeelingpod@gmail.com.
Now get cozy.
And prepare yourself to be scared silly.
This is a Funny Feeling podcast. Oh, Betsy.
Marcy.
What an exciting day for us.
I am so pumped.
Yeah, we have a guest, and it's a return guest because we love her so much, and you guys love her so much.
Yes.
And we're just lucky to have an intuitive and medium as a friend.
Believe it? It's so cool.
What kind of life? Well, we're not going to delay this too much. We're going to go ahead and invite our guest, Adela, Lavine. Hello.
Yes.
Hi. Just to remind you, Lavine.
Oh, my God. I almost asked right before, and then I just
totally
went for
fine.
it.
It's spelled the same. It's spelled the same and not as common.
Thank you
as
for
Lavine.
correcting me, too.
That's okay. I didn't want to,
No, it's
confuse
the right
people.
thing to do.
But you
It's
got my
like
first
thing.
name perfect, which no one does.
Because
So,
people say Adela. Do they say
Yeah.
Adela? Yeah.
all the time. Even my aunt who's 91, who I've decided, why bother?
Your
Yeah,
aunt?
do whatever you want.
Listen, she's 91. Let's give her props. She's lived
Is
a
it-
long time.
Her last name as well, though?
No.
Okay,
She's
okay.
no. She gets my first name wrong, not all the time. I don't even think she knows my last name, to be honest.
Funny.
Got it. That's a whole other podcast.
That's
have
a
to figure
whole
out.
nother. That's a whole nother thing. Oh, mostly because Lavine is the name I was born with, and not the name she saw me raised with. That's a different story.
Okay.
Yeah.
True.
That is
That's-
a whole other podcast.
Well, it's funny because we're here to talk about your book. You just released a memoir. It's called Seer, the origin story and memoir. So tell us all about it.
Yes. And I'm going to be transparent with your audience. I asked them, I said, can I come on your podcast and talk about my book? Because I said, why not?
Yes.
They like and they were gracious enough to say yes. So they're being really gracious to me, but they were gracious enough to say yes and have me on. So I really appreciate it.
Well, we're so lucky, and also our audience knows that we're very lazy
Yes.
in how we produce the podcast. So it's like, thank God people reach out to us.
Yes. Also, I feel you have
You guys are just sweet.
you're
Yeah.
like the 5-timer club of SNL. You
Yes.
can come back whenever you want. You're
Wow.
welcome anytime.
Do I get a jacket?
We'll give you a
Yes.
jacket. We'll give you
It's
a
one of
green
our
jacket.
Old ones, though. It doesn't say the podcast name. It's just like an old jacket
Just
of
an
ours.
old jacket we used to
I'll
use in
take
sketch
it.
comedy.
I'll take it. I think what people don't realize is that all my FYP on TikTok and everything I watch is mostly comedy, because what I do, I'm not watching paranormal stuff. But with that said, about my it's like I need a break. So my book is a memoir. It's like 25 years of me trying to write this book. Let me say, I haven't been writing this book, but when you go to write something, and I've tried to write it so many which ways about my parents and their story and all kinds of things, and not my own story, because I didn't want to live through everything again.
Yeah.
I've been through quite a bit of things in my life, and it's about my story from when I was born up till about 15 years ago. I always kind of mark it right before my son and all that. So
Okay.
I wanted to kind of just do a story that showed the progression of opening my site and how that happened. But it turns out people are like, oh, this is really, you've been through a lot and it's inspirational. I'm like, oh, yeah, that
Yeah.
part too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm an inspiration. Yeah.
Well, because, my story starts off with, you know, a lot of tragedy. So there's a lot that took me through me realizing my sight. And I think I kind of have a very typical, what people call Disney stories, how somebody has to die for the person to like recognize their powers. Well, I have plenty of that
Wow.
in the story. So that's why it's called the origin story, because it's kind of how I started to realize all these things that were always happening to me when I was younger, the things I foresaw about my parents, and how that all happened. And a lot of crazy other stories of, I moved to New York for a while and it's like all these crazy things that I went through. So it is kind of a story of showing a lot of, what is it called? Adversity? Is that the right
Yeah.
word? Yeah.
Wow.
And how I went through, but also it's a little with my humor in it. So I make all these like side comments and jokes about what
Cool.
I'm going through. So it's not all heavy, but
Mhm.
I think I thought people would kind of see it as, oh, this is how your sight opened up. And they're more like, oh, you went through all these things and you overcame it to get to where you are. And that my sight was the thing that got me through it. So
Yeah.
that's kind of
Wow.
how, like, as my sight started I started accepting certain things. It started getting me through these difficult times and crazy adventures that my life took me through.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
cannot wait to read it.
I know we put this together too quickly to get
Yeah,
a
I couldn't
copy,
get it to you in
but
time. Right.
and I would have never been able to read it in 2 days.
No, 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 no. I'm slow
But
with that. I'm
I
slow
can't
with
read.
that.
I can't read well, but
I have to call Marcy up to read to her.
I can't go to sleep without it. Yeah.
No, every night.
Now, you said you lived in New York. Was that an overwhelming place to start having like your site opened up because there's so much energy there or
That was not where it
okay.
started, my site. That's actually where I shut it off for a while. So it's where it started to kind of like, kind of like
Yeah.
come back
Uh-huh.
online. But it really is about how my site got me out of certain difficult situations, started telling me like this isn't where you should be or this is what you shouldn't be doing. And, I meet like a woman who there's a story in there that's very similar to The Craft, like almost too similar, even the name Nancy
What?
is exactly. And matter of fact, this all happened before The Craft. So when it came out, I was like, everything about this is almost exactly like my story.
Who's watching me right
It's like,
now? What?
I know
Wow.
I live in LA and I talk to people, but yeah. And so it was like weird things like that. So in New
Wow.
York, I didn't feel that till much later, and I didn't live there very long. So this was happening over years, like the on and off of opening up and how I landed into really on this path that I am now,
I mean,
really.
I'm your target audience for this sort of story. So
Yes.
I've read a few memoirs by
Mhm.
psychics and mediums, and that's I feel like kind of common the want to shut it off so you can actually live your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of. It was more, I mean, I think that what I tried to make different about this is very down to earth. Like
Hmm.
this is very like, I even start off in the book, like, if you're looking for all the answers, don't read this book because I'm not going to give you all the
Yeah.
Right?
answers.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very, like, I rather be playing The Last of Us too because I play video games. So that's what
Yeah.
stopped me from writing this book most of the time. So it's very like, for me, it wasn't so much about being normal as it was, I didn't really know what to do with it. It was
Uh-huh.
like it was the 90s. It was a different time. And when I started opening these gifts, it was in the 70s. So we know, I mean,
Wow.
so those of us who are Gen Xers, we know how that was in the 80s. So telling people things in those times, they were like, oh, you're weird.
Yep.
So I didn't know what was going on. I didn't have the internet. I couldn't like look things up. So it was kind of more like, I don't even know what to do with this. Like I thought it was like cool once and exciting, but I was scared. but I just didn't know what am I supposed to do with this,
Right.
And
because you're like, I don't know where a community is of other people who
Right.
feel this way.
unless you
like,
join a cult, which
unless you join a
almost
cult.
happened to me, which I write about in the book.
My God.
Yeah, so
Yes,
I can't
of
wait
course.
to get my
a few
hands on
times
this.
actually.
A few
A
times.
few times.
A few times, and I almost got sex trafficked,
Oh my
and
God.
I mean, kind of did, but didn't know, and it's all kinds of things. Like I have a lot of things people don't know about me are in this book.
That's
So I think they'll be
hard.
surprised.
Yeah, that's hard to like give people your
Yes.
your stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started realizing that when people are like, "Oh my gosh," and this, I'm like, "Wait a minute, did I write about that? Or did I write about that?"
Uh-oh.
And it was very like I don't know how you do writing because let me tell you, I feel like I was going to lose my mind because I wrote it and rewrote it and rewrote it, and I know that I've heard writers say you have to rewrite, 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 but no one gets you prepared for what rewriting is hell. I think I understand The Shining now because he lost his mind from trying to write a book because I felt like that
And
many times.
you have
Yes.
to be okay with letting things go that mean
Okay.
a lot to you. That you're
Right.
like, I love this, and then someone else reads it and it's like, you're like, what?
It's so not necessary, and you're just like, but it was a big part. It started the whole thing.
Well, the funny thing is, after I rewrote it, my husband was like, "Well, you haven't let me read it." And I said, "Well, because I don't want you to read it in the form it's in." So when I finally got to the place where I said, "Okay, it makes sense,"
Yeah.
I let him do it chapter by chapter. So I tend to write like, yeah, and this, I learned about this alien ship and I met this guy. Anyway, that's a different story. He's like, wait a minute, what do you mean? You can't put that in and not tell the story. So I tend to write like people are getting bored. Let me just move on. Or I don't want to get into it. And so he had to keep saying, like, you have to expand or don't even mention it because I don't even know what you're talking.
That's a good
So-
note.
It's a great note of like, you dropped a really wild, fun specific. We got to hear a little
You
bit
got to
about
hear it. Or there were times, you're right. I was like, why did I talk about all that? I'm like, that is not neat.
Right.
That's not necessary. It just sounds. So the rewriting was hell.
Yeah.
And I give kudos to writers who write all the I mean, it was probably the hardest thing I've done since giving birth.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
For sure. Because it's like my whole
And for it to be
life.
so
Personal.
personal, I
That was
can't even
hard.
imagine
Mhm.
Yeah.
what
I was crying
that's like.
a lot of tears,
Yeah.
a lot of but it felt like I kind of took a backpack off of me, almost like something I've been carrying on around. And there's also like real personal things like I suffered through abuse and stuff in my childhood and a lot of things you don't want to say because you're worried about what other people are going to feel.
Yeah.
And when I kind of finally let all of that out, I was like, I'm just going to leave it now. I
Yeah.
can leave it. And my aunt that I was talking about,
Yeah.
she's a big part of what pushed me. She was like, you have to just be true to yourself and my husband and everything. So yeah, so that's the story.
That's crazy.
And you're gonna have readers be like really it's the word I'm looking, really connect with it, and
that is something that I
Yeah.
think as artists in any form that you learn as soon as you give your art away that it's no longer yours. It now becomes the person who is consuming it and it's theirs now. And it's a really special thing to give it to people. But it's also scary because you no longer have control of it too.
It's really interesting to say that, Marcy, because I've been having like these weird behaviors and my husband's like, I think you're feeling a little out of control now. And I was like, who says that? I wanted to write this book. And then I started thinking about it. I was like, you're right. I've put this all out there and now other people, it's in their hands. It does feel weird. It does feel weird.
Yeah, it's not just yours anymore.
It's not just mine anymore. It was like me in this little world. I was like, like acting all like psycho and like eating popcorn and like going, I'm going to lose my mind. And I was like in this whole little world. And then when I like let it out, it was like, people are like, wow, there's crying and this and that. And I'm going, oh, wait, it is a weird feeling, especially because it's so personal.
Yes. And such a huge buildup
Yes.
so many years. I mean, your
So
whole
many
life
years.
up until 15 years ago, but
Yeah.
so many years working on it too,
Trying different
and then
ways.
to be like, I'm done now.
Yeah. Yeah, because I tried so many different ways, and everybody would always say, I feel like there's something you're not saying. I feel like there's
Hey.
something you're holding back. And I was like, there's nothing I'm holding back. Pretty much the big parts, like the spiritual stuff, my sight.
Yeah, you go
The
yada
whole
yada
seer
yada about
part.
that stuff.
Yeah. Don't worry about that. You don't
yeah.
need to know about that. Yeah, so I knew my mom was, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
I already foresaw I had these psychic things, but that and like what I went through in my childhood, I just brushed over. And it's funny how everyone said could tell, no matter how I tried to phrase it or do it. So finally, I remember I didn't know my real father, and
Okay.
I met his family almost like 6 years ago. I found him,
Whoa.
and I used to always say, I'll probably find my father, and then he'll either be dead or he'll die afterwards, and then I'll write my book. And I met him, his family, and he died that next year after I found them. I didn't want to meet him.
Wow.
I just met
Okay.
his children. I just wasn't in the space to meet him. And then I was like, well, that kind of what happened. So I wasn't too far off.
Yeah.
A little longer than I thought. But yeah.
Wow. I am so pumped to
So
read
excited.
this.
We'll link your book in the show notes.
Sure. Thank
but where
you.
can people find it? Again,
Yes,
tell
that's
us.
a good point. You can find it on Amazon right now. It's on Amazon, and because I wanted to self-publish it, I didn't want to. I really know the publishing game is like kind of difficult. So I like speaking of control, the control.
Yes.
So I wanted to control it. So it's out on Amazon. You could get the hard copy, or you can get it on Kindle.
Cool.
Yeah. So we always want to hear creepy, weird stories.
Do you have any newer
I think you
ones?
do. I know you do because you're in the business of interesting, maybe not creepy, all of them, but you were telling us that you have some maybe something we don't always get to explore here. You have some alien
I have a lot of
experiences?
alien stuff. It's in the book as well. Okay, so when I first started down this path, I was like, I'm going to be a medium, and didn't really even think about the intuitive side. But when I started to really open myself up, I was with somebody. My first experience was when I was with somebody, and he was sleeping, and I suddenly was in a room. I thought I was dreaming, but I was in a room. I was at a table that kind of looked like a silver table.
Oh no.
I love Betsy's faces.
Oh no.
They're the best. And there's like probably about 2 men I thought were men in white coats. They were standing there, and there was a being sitting across from me at the table. And I looked around and I said, so they know about you, like they're doctors or something, or scientists, that they know you exist? And it said yes. And I was like, oh, I was very lucidly aware that I was in a room. It wasn't 100% like me looking at you, but I would say kind of like if I was looking at you, kind of druggy or like high or something, right? And but I wasn't like in that dreamy where you're like things turn, how dream state where things turn weird. It was pretty normal environment, and he said yes, and he said, okay, I'm going to tell you. Um, he said yes, and then I looked at him and said, you don't have a mouth, you're not speaking, or you're not speaking through your mouth. And he said no. And he said, I'm going to tell you a lot of the secrets of how the universe works, but you won't remember any of them, but they'll unlock as you need them.
Whoa. So when you say being, does it look humanoid?
No,
or?
it wasn't human. He looked like what people describe as grays, but not grays. Like it wasn't like the tiny little being with the big almond eyes. It was kind of similar, but taller.
Okay.
I would say the size of like a 14-year-old.
Okay.
Average 14-year-old boy, let's say. But, it did have the oval face and everything, but it didn't have that, I don't know, it just didn't feel, I wasn't scared. I was
Yeah.
just kind of like, how the hell did I get here? And who are you? And why are you telling me these things? It was kind of more that feeling.
Whoa.
And he said, you won't remember any of this. And I started kind of feeling all this information come into me. And I just rose up, and
Yeah.
I hit my partner going, did I leave this room? Did you see if I left?
Whoa.
And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And he said, I don't think so. I don't know. And I go, did you notice anything? And I just kind of was confused. But I think the funniest part is I just was like, oh, well, this is, I didn't
This is my
let it.
life.
Yeah, I just was like,
Mhm.
a weird experience. I didn't
Wow.
stop and absorb this experience.
Right.
Yeah. So I just kind of took it as like, I'm not sure, because I
Yeah.
never ever had any interest of aliens. Like, I wasn't against it. I kind of believed we can't be the only beings in this
Yeah.
world. But I didn't have some obsession more like I do now, as you could see it wearing my alien earrings.
Yes. Very cool.
Because I had a feeling before we came out, I have a feeling this is going to be what we'll talk about.
Nailed
And so
it. Nailed it.
so I went along life, but it wasn't until years later, and this isn't in the book, because this would be in the second book, because this was years later when I was really heavily into my path, that weird things started happening. Well, let me tell you, I have like a laundry. That's why when people are like, I can't believe, I'm like, oh, that book, that's just the tip of the iceberg.
That's just the
I was like,
beginning.
that's just the beginning. That's why it's called the origin story. Like, you have no
Yes.
idea how weirder and crazier it gets. But I still saved it. It's my son had one of those airplanes from the movie Airplane. I don't know if you remember those,
Yes.
the Disney movies, right? And
Yes.
you used to have to push down on the airplane, and it would say different like sayings, different things, how those toys, but you have to push it down.
Mhm.
And I was like laying in bed. Now, let me preface it with this. I used to get these calls all the time on my phone, all the time, where I would be on the phone with somebody, and this was happening like at least once a month or more. And they would drop off, and I would just hear like clicky, like what you see in the
Ew.
movies, and it would go, "Do she show me ho," like, I'm not kidding you. I'm not
What?
kidding.
Wait,
And
like on
I
your
would
like
just,
cell
I was
phone?
like, "Hello?" Like, this is me, like, "Hello?" "Who is this?" And it would go, "Do she show," and it would repeat the same thing. So it didn't like
What?
say other weird things. It would
Yeah.
just, so if it was Spanish or French, you would know someone saying, "Hey, help me," or
Yes.
you're like, they're saying something over and over.
Yes.
So it wasn't like, and it happened so often, I started getting used to it. And so anyway, so I forgot to say this. So then it would just go away. It would go drop away, and the person go, "Hey, where'd you go?" And I'm like, "You didn't hear that?" And they're like, "No." Like, "You didn't hear that.
What?
You didn't hear that just now." They're like, "No. What are you talking about? You just went away." Now, this is a cell phone.
Yeah, like that doesn't
Yeah.
happen
It doesn't happen. This is
anymore.
what drives me crazy, because people are like, well, I'm like, how many people are telling you this is happening to them? Like, there's a common cell phone situation. No. And it would happen over so many times, to the point where I would go, "What do you want? I got your message. Thank you. Okay. Please. I got it. Thank you." We made contact, and then it would go away. It would go. And it got to the point where I would be on the phone. I would hear that. And I would go, "Here we go. Here it comes." And one time somebody was on with me, and they freaked out so much. They were like, "I can't be your friend anymore. You have too many weird things happening to you.
No.
Like, it's too scary for me." And I was like, "But I'm trying to explain to you,
No.
it's not demonic or anything. It's alien." They were like, I'm out.
If you have a
Too
phone call
much.
friend, if you have a friend that you are close enough that you would speak to them on the phone and
Yeah.
that's a betrayal. If they would ditch you over that, betrayal.
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, okay, you're not built for this. It's okay. And I was kind of used to it because people would say this stuff around me all the time. Like, and once they hang around me, they see all the weird things that happen to me all the time. So they're like, I thought you were, and I'm like, but now I go, yeah, I know. This is what I mean. People don't believe me. So preface it, those were happening. And then one night I was in bed and all of it, and I knew where my cats were. I knew where everyone was. And all of a sudden I hear the airplane has a thing that says, how come you're not answering our radio contact? And it did the scramble first. It went.
Which toys don't fucking do that, man.
I know. I've had people say to me, "Oh, when the battery's dying, the battery wasn't dying. They don't scramble. I don't know what you're talking about.
Scramble.
They don't scramble, and you have to push on." So I'm looking like, is my cat sitting? Because I always go for the logical explanation. Like, cat do that? What's good? My son's sleeping. Nothing. Nobody's around. And then it did it again. It scrambled to go back. So it's not like it just started going off through the sayings and said, how come you're not answering our radio contact?
What?
And I went, I got it. I got your message. It's fine. You can stop doing this. Enough already. And it just stopped.
Oh.
So these types of things started happening a lot. And that's what started me going, okay, there's something to the whole alien thing.
Yeah.
And were you kind of feeling like this isn't a spirit? This
I
is
could tell that,
absolutely
right.
like alien.
I know
like
the
you just
difference. Yeah, spirits operate different.
Knew. Okay.
That's why, like, you guys know I have a podcast, A House Medium, and that's why when people come on there and they tell their stories or they send me their stories, I'm like, I know the difference. There's a different energy. I teach the different energy. With spirits, spirits are very like, alien energy is very like, just like that. Like, how come you're not answering our contact? What's that? Come on, like, get to it. They don't hold your hand. They're not trying to be gentle. They're not mean. They're just like, almost like, get to the point. We're just trying to get to the point. Like, what's the problem? Like, don't be so freaked out about everything.
They're European. They're like European.
Exactly.
Yeah, very blunt and just kind of like.
Very blunt, exactly. They're like, you guys are too sensitive, whatever.
Oh my God, I would love to know how non-Americans, like because we only hear stories typically from Americans who have like contact stories, but like what is it like internationally? Like is like the communication styles?
You mean as far as aliens and stuff? I don't know. I've heard from people from across the globe. It's pretty same.
Right. But I mean, even just like how they internalize it and take it. Because I do think that like we're such a culture that like we have so many unspoken things that we like and how we communicate that is very different from like, I was thinking of like Dutch people, how like people are like Americans are always like offended by,
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. I don't know. That's a really good point. I know that when I have done lots of readings and I've helped people across the globe, they seem to have a much more openness to it and they take it a little more serious. And they kind of go for I want to say like scientific understanding, less woo-woo approach. That's what I've kind of noticed. Like they're more like, yeah, this is possible because, we're not the only people in the world. Like they just have a different, like a more grounded, I don't know how to explain it, kind of matter of fact kind of way about it. Just like you said.
Yeah,
like
that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's,
Whoa.
I also I'm curious because like, you're saying that it's not spirit and it's different, but what happens when, one, do we know if aliens die? That's a good, like a thing that I've never thought of before. And two, like, do they have spirits? Like,
Oh, duh.
Yeah, because the ones I've encountered are interdimensional, so I'm not so much that they're like coming in a craft, the ones I've encountered.
Right.
And they have told me they do die, but their approach to death, of course, is very different because they know they've seen that dimension. So it's the same dimension. So where spirits are the same place aliens are. It's the other
Oh.
dimension, it's the other realm. So when they die, it's not a big deal. So it's like animals feel that way. Animals are like,
Yes.
they can see that realm. So they're like, I just got to get rid of this body. It isn't working out. And I'm going to go to that realm. Because I talk to animals on the other side for people all the time. And I sometimes talk to them here too when people need help.
Yes.
I did a reading like that just last week.
Cool.
And they just are very blunt too. Animals
Yeah.
are very blunt too. They're not as emotional.
You have to tell Honey that she's got to chill out, and you have to tell Honey she has to let me pet her.
Well, the thing is, you have to kind of you got to realize animals will become what you want. They respond to you and they're true empathic. So if they feel like there's a piece of you that's needing something, like if they are sensing maybe you need space, maybe you're overwhelmed, then they'll
Well,
kind of become that.
this one doesn't know that. This one is like, you
Yeah.
need no space.
Well, that's what I mean. They each respond to different
Yeah.
parts of you. Yeah, that's what's kind of neat about them. Like, so they play their role kind of thing. That's what they always tell me. Like, sometimes they're like, I did my thing.
They're
I
like
did what I needed.
therapy.
They're like, I did what I need for you. My body wasn't working. I needed to go to that other place. I'm good. I stayed along for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. They help us. They think we don't really get how things work here.
They're right.
They're
right.
absolutely correct. We do not one bit.
We do not. It's clear.
It's very clear. We don't get it. We don't
We
get
don't
it.
get it. They're like, don't you get it? This is how the earth works. This is how
Nope.
life and death work.
No.
No.
Yeah.
No,
we just want money.
No, we have to pay
just want
taxes and get health
money.
insurance. We don't understand. We're too stressed out.
Yeah, we don't
That's
get
true.
it.
That's for sure. That is the truth. Yeah, I get that. Especially, yeah, I see a lot of that right now.
Yeah, you were
My
saying
readings.
that you if you are in communication with Adela, you can get emails, and I've gotten some with the headlines that are like, everyone is uncertain. Everyone is like basically
Yes,
like,
yes,
don't freak
because
out.
I'm giving people 50% off my readings for a while because I started to notice in my readings, each reading, people were like freaking out, and also even on my Patreon or anything, I could just feel it.
Yep.
Like everyone's like, I don't know what's going on, I don't know what to do. So I'm like, if you need help, I get it. You're feeling overwhelmed. And sure enough, I got this huge response, and people like not only were when they booked, but just even like saying to me, like through a DM or an email, like I've been feeling that so much. Like, so there's a push of energy.
Not to put you on the spot, but is the world going to end in like 6 months?
Marcy.
Do I need to file taxes before
Yeah, we
October?
got till October.
No, the world is not going to end, but the world that we know it to be, the way it was, I've been saying this since 2020. I've been telling people that it's not, the old world is ending and there is a new world, not to be afraid about it, because we could have went through it, and we could have went the nice way, but we as people are chosen a difficult way.
I honestly think that'll be good for a lot of people because they wouldn't learn it
Correct.
the other way. And
that's right.
And the rest of us will get through it too.
Yeah.
Yes.
The people that are going to have the hardest time, I kept saying to people that the world's going to change and we're going to move into this new world because we're going to move into a new world where the old ways are dying, even in every way. And the people who want to maintain the old world, they were going to fight tooth and nail. I kept telling people this. Yes. Thank you, Betsy.
I'm getting pumped. I needed to hear this because it's so easy to get so bummed.
It's very easy to get bummed.
I interrupted.
No. You're
like,
100% right because there's like this cloud. But I've been saying to people that it's kind of like, when it all began, I kind of likened it to like Star Wars type of thing. Like there has to be like we didn't want the battle, but the battle will have to happen for the new world, which I talk about. I forgot to plug in my book, the Star Wars story.
Plug it forever.
Star Wars story of my connection to Star Wars and all that. But anyway, but it is what's happening is that we're moving into a new world, and the old guards are like, we don't want that new world. And I've been saying this since 2020. And I said this I got that vision about 16, 17 years ago that there was going to be a battle. And they're going to try to hold on to the old ways. And the ones that hold on to the old ways are going to fight everything they can. And then the people who can't handle the new world are going to start like losing it and freaking out and, kind of falling off.
They're going to be losers. They're going to be real losers about it.
They already are.
Yeah, and they're flipping out. They're like, we have to go back to this. There's no going back. The one thing I have heard consistently over and over from that realm, there's no going back. We could have not gone back in a nice way, like I said, but that's not the way it happened.
As you're speaking about it now, it even strikes me that a lot of what they want to deny is manifesting the lives you want. Like whether it's who you love, how you live, how you have a family. Like they want to say, no, you can't manifest because it maybe scares them for what they could be.
Yeah, it's exactly. Yeah. It's also what people have to remember is that when it comes to another side of it is that what I've been seeing, and I post a lot this on my TikTok, is that AI and robotics is going to roll in and change a lot of things. And there are people who want to be in power over that. So they're purposely dismantling things so they could have the power over it. That's what people don't understand. There's a bigger picture going on. But they're also going, let's just cash grab everything we can before all of the old ways disappear.
Honey, we might not even use money soon, so have fun being a fucking billionaire. Good luck for all the little papers that you saved up. You're going to be like a weird hoarder. It's going to be like a crazy old person who lives in the woods.
That's why they want to get control over the new money. That's why they're trying to get control. Because they know the new generations are going to not ever go into the ways they're. It's too late. The internet and everything it's not going to stop. Like there's no way stopping everything.
It's so funny.
So we're moving fast forward to the future.
I was talking to a friend recently about they wanted to buy gold. And I was like, it might not be the same. Like the gold standard may not really be part of our future. And she was like, gold always holds its value. And I was like, that's only because of like how we perceive it. Like when you trade grapes with a monkey, like,
Yeah. People don't even, people don't realize, but no one talks about the alpha generation, but they won't even be using cash. Like they're just going to be swiping their phones. So I feel like we're moving rapidly into that world. What I foresee is healthcare, education, and the food industry are going to rapidly change within this year due to technology. And I'm already seeing it. Like I went to get a mammogram and they were like, do you want AI to look at it for $40 extra? And I was like, yes, please. Because they're like, it's like there's tons and tons of eyes that the AI is like, they can find the little things that happen.
That's what we need AI for.
Yeah, not to like make cats with big tits get divorced from their cat husband.
I can draw that. I can draw that for you.
When I tell you, it's the only AI that I actually consume besides like Googling stuff and the AI answer comes up first. But when it's like a cat that is singing, meow, meow, meow.
Oh, yes.
And she's a fat cat and her husband is abusive and he leaves her and then she goes on a workout journey. She gets a revenge body.
Watch that multiple times because of you.
This is not in my FYP, apparently.
It is unfortunately what the algorithm says. We know who you are. And I said, oh, no, you're right. You're right.
Dude, I've absolutely watched that multiple times because of you.
Oh, God. Also, my coworker was watching.
Meow.
It was like Dobby being like basically it was like Dirty Dobby living for Harry Potter.
Funny.
What is that? Dirty Dobby?
You know Dobby, the house troll from Harry Potter?
Oh, I'm not a big Harry Potter fan.
Well-
Sorry, everybody, but I do remember that. I've seen the first one, I think. And
Dobby-
I saw like the first 4 movies.
I will say
and then
this,
that's
Dobby
it.
is
There's a
a bit...
lot of them, Betsy.
Well, there's
She's
so
like,
many.
I only
First
saw the
4
first
and-
4.
There's a lot.
Oh, there is?
4 more.
Dobby, I haven't
Really?
watched them all either, but I'll say that Dobby might be like a ripoff of Jar Jar Binks.
It is.
Oh,
You're right.
Funny. Nothing original.
Turfs
You're right.
aren't original.
That's true.
Nothing
That is
original
true.
from that big old butthole.
Oh, you
She
might not be able
sucks.
to answer this, but why is J.K. Rowling such a fucking turf? What's the deal there?
Yeah, I was like seeing that, and my read on her is really simple. It's a real simple answer. I think people forget people are who they are before they can create something. And I
Yeah.
always felt like she kind of stole a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Not that I'm taking her creativity away of Harry Potter, but I feel like people thought she was progressive because she's doing something about, I don't know, overcoming, things in life, but I
Yeah.
don't feel that's the case. I feel like my read on her, she was always this way.
Yeah.
I just think people didn't know it. Because I was like kind of reading into it. I was like, did she change from the money? And I was like, no, I feel like this is who she was.
Yeah.
This is who she was. She just really, I feel like it comes from a place like she's a woman who created this multi-billion-dollar like industry, thing, this empire. And I feel like to her, she's like, I want to claim that. That's my read on her.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, it's not hers anymore.
Right. Didn't it get sold?
Well, no, but she gave it to us. Like once she
Oh,
thinks
yes,
she
Marcy.
thinks she's in control of it, and she is no longer. Like those characters she created, she maybe gave birth to them, but like any abusive mother, when they leave you, they're not yours anymore. They're a whole
That's right.
being, even if
Wow.
they're fictional.
Good job.
That's good. That's a good point. Yeah.
That's why
Well, I think-
don't let artists keep their art just because they're bad.
What do you mean?
Like, there are people who are like, I will never listen to Michael Jackson again. And if that's your prerogative because it makes you feel bad to think about what might have happened, then that makes sense. But if it is meaningful and you want it, he's dead. What's he gonna do? Like, it's not his, it's ours.
Right. It's a
He
good
can't make
example.
money off
I'm
of
a
it
big
anymore.
Michael Jackson fan.
Yeah.
And it was pretty it was like a dilemma for sure. But I agree with you because the art's out there. If you're going to worship, and I think that was my other feeling, I was like, maybe you should just realize don't worship the person and just know that it came through them. It's like they're the conduit.
Yeah.
Like not make the mistake of worshiping the person usually. So that's the weird part.
Yeah. They're not all geniuses. Some of them are little empty vessels.
Yes.
A lot.
A lot.
I'll say this.
lot.
A lot are, dude.
Oh,
I would say a lot. I would agree.
Even when I do stuff, sometimes I'm like, oh, I must have stepped out for a bit because that is not mine. Like,
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's the same thing. I always tell people that, reading, it comes through me. And I say it's very similar to like a painter or an artist of any type. It's coming through you, or being the conduit with what you guys do. It comes through you into the people, and then they get to live this journey, and you take them on a journey and you take them on an experience, but it's coming through you from that same realm that I talked about earlier. It's coming from that ether realm,
Yeah.
Yeah. This deep talks.
It's deep.
Well,
It's true.
a little bit of a segue. How
Yes.
would you feel about reading reading one of our listener stories
I'm down. Let's do it.
and get your vibe on it? I'm gonna just share it so you guys can see it as I'm reading it because there's images with it. I think this word is pronounced Kiko possession and moaning forest.
Okay.
Do we think
Looks
that?
like
Kiko?
it.
Okay,
Kiko. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Kiko.
Okay. Hey, ladies, I'm Luca. You actually read my story recently, Haunted Gramophone and Raspy Voices. It was really cool to hear my stories read out on your pod. I'm 15 now. Oh my God. I love this.
15?
We have to watch our mouths.
No fucking way, dude. No fucking
Yeah.
way.
They're 15. As a mother of a 14-year-old, I could tell you it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
fine.
15, I'm 15 now and realize that the voices were probably sleep paralysis or something like that, but still spooky AF. Anyway, I had a truly horrifying experience about a week ago, so here goes. Me and maybe 4 of my friends went to a small surfing community in New Zealand called Piha, maybe? Piha?
Cool.
Piha
Okay.
is a really weird. Wait, does you guys think that says Piha?
It looks
I
like
think so.
Piha.
It's harder for me to see, but I could say yes. It looks
Okay.
like Piha
Okay, Piha is a really weird place, and there
or
have been
Piha.
Piha. I like that Piha. Piha is a really weird place, and there have been 6 missing people who no one can find, and police aren't doing anything about it. It's also very gang heavy sexual harm and drug trigger warning. And there are often lady hunts in which many women have been drugged, abused, and raped. Oh God, that's
Oh
so
my
scary.
God.
Okay.
All in P Piha isn't all in all, Piha isn't a nice place to be an outsider in. And 2 of my friends who were female, so there was an edge of fear to the trip. We were going camping in the bush. Now, American bush and New Zealand bush are very different. In New Zealand, the bush is everywhere. It's thick with shrubs and easy to get lost in. So camping there probably wasn't a good idea.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah, all of
Sounds
these
like a
things are making me. I'm
15-year-old.
more worried of like, why are you here? Just for the
Yes.
human being factor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fast forward to when we were setting up camp. We had some camp chairs and some tents. We were chilling and probably getting really high. Teens!
Yay!
Teens.
One of my friends was actually really weird. He kept on nodding his head up and down like he was falling asleep. I called out to him and he sat bolt upright and just stared at me, not doing anything. I thought it was probably just the drugs, but I was still on edge. He continued to stare at me for about 10 minutes. Then he got up and, trigger warning for self-harm, he started smashing his head against a boulder. Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
He was bleeding extremely heavily and his skull was dented. We tried to stop him and my friend eventually tackled him and sat on him to pin him down. He was still making a banging motion with his head. We called an ambulance and police and they took him away. That's when he started screaming. It sounded like a cat fighting. It was awful. We ended up staying the night at a campsite in the main Piha village while he was rushed to the hospital. He had no past problems with anything. He was completely normal, basic white boy. I had never even heard him talk about wanting to hurt himself or anything like that. This was really traumatic. According to the ambulance driver, the moment we left the bush, he stopped, vomited, and just started crying in pain. Whoa. He had no idea what happened, and he was crying, saying how much pain he was in. He's fine now and living with only a slightly malformed skull. Oh my God.
Jeez.
And he still can't remember anything from that night. When I
Okay.
told the campsite older what happened, she was an extremely religious and Maori woman. She told us that it was Kiko Kiko, which is a spirit that possesses someone, makes them insane, and apparently there had been reports of things like this in the bush around Pia. And
You gotta
in short,
put that in the brochure. You gotta give a warning. This is horse shit. You gotta give a warning.
For sure.
in short, just don't go there. Bad vibes all around. My last story.
Don't worry. You had me at the beginning of
yeah,
not
don't
wanting to go
worry.
there.
Yeah, when you said camping outside,
Yeah.
I was out.
Yes.
Camping outside and people being drugged, done.
No
I'm out.
way.
Yeah.
Cool,
No.
cool. My last story is a short one. I was walking through a forest near my house when I heard a sound. Imagine that sound when someone chuckles with their mouth full, that loud, guttural humph sound. The ground started rumbling and making that noise, and I ran the hell out of there because now I can't stand deep sounds or voices. who knows what that was? Possible, just my imagination, but who knows? Thank you, ladies, for your podcast. I love it and listen every week. Lots of love, Luca. And then here's a
Luca.
picture of Pia and the bush and the people who are missing. I can't find
Okay.
much on Google
It is a beautiful beach.
It is
about
pretty.
Kiko. It's an
But there's, still,
so
I don't need to camp there.
yeah, they
No,
say
no.
it's an ancient Maori thing. I think I'm saying Maori right. It's and then
Mm,
here are the people that have gone missing.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yikes.
All right.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, no. They're all pretty young, too.
yeah. I mean, it does seem like there is like an element of youth here, right? But there's
Yeah. It does feel like that's the calming factor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where it's like, we go here to party because no adults want to come here. And it's
Yeah.
like,
Because
no
they
shit,
know
man.
better. Yeah.
Well,
Whoa.
So
What
my
the fuck?
feeling is, she said they got high on just like on weed, basically?
yeah.
Okay.
But you know what? When I was a teen and I would buy weed off of whoever,
It could be laced.
could be lace. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
My first feeling, honestly, I have like these check marks that I call check marks that check off paranormal, that ring true. Certain things that have to kind of happen that lean towards paranormal. And it doesn't have a lot of those check marks because it has more check marks of kids getting high and him having some kind of freak out moment. However, with that said, it doesn't mean that doesn't leave him open to the energies around.
Yes.
Right.
So it's not that he was possessed, but what can happen is you suddenly just kind of get overwhelmed with energy if you're not protecting. It's like when you go to certain places,
Yes.
you have to make sure you protect the energy around you.
Yeah.
He also, my read on it is, could have a natural ability that just kind of opens up to that more easily than other people. Some people are more sensitive, just like some people have a better sense of smell or a better sense of
Yep.
taste. So my read on him is that he has a little more sensitivity to it. That wasn't a good place for him. And weed, by the way, isn't a bad thing, but anything you do like this will open you up besides drinking. Drinking kind of shuts you down. But weed definitely, which is why I'm not a big weed person.
Yeah.
And if I do edibles, it's like I bite on it like you would think you would like, okay, Adela, like, are you even eating anything? Because I get it just opens I don't need it to be opened up anymore. So I get the feeling that he's a little bit sensitive and he opened himself up. I kind of feel like these people missing, it's kind of like more to do with what was going on. I mean, people could go missing in nature all the time. It doesn't mean that it's paranormal. It kind of looks like it's more the first thing she talked about, like people having, running into the wrong type of people.
Yeah.
Right.
But I feel like that's what happened. I feel like that's why he vomited and he felt safe now that he was kind of like out of shock or whatever kind of released him. It's not like you get possessed, but you just kind of get, like, I've seen this happen once when somebody, that's a different story, where they just got overwhelmed so much and I had to help pull it out of them. So that by energy, because they were a sensitive person. So
Wow.
I feel like that's what happened.
And this
I feel
whole
like it was
area,
a combo.
Yeah, is like already bad energy. Just from the
that's what I
description
mean.
is like, it probably feels so weird
Terrible.
there.
Yeah.
And awful. And then to get high.
And like,
Yeah.
look at this
No.
place.
Yeah.
Look at it. You could just disappear.
Dense.
You could disappear. That's what I'm
Dense.
saying. So my feeling is people always forget, and nature will swallow you up.
Yeah.
Nature will eat us up. Nature will, you ever see those, like I Survived, the jungle? You will watch how nature suddenly just says you're going to become part of the earth. So
Literally, where it's like
Mhm.
this plant is eating your skin. And
Eating your
it's
skin.
okay.
Another thing that I think about,
Right.
because I'm always so cold now. I'm just so cold. I got old and cold. But that, like, there's about a 50-degree temperature spread that we can actually survive in.
Mhm.
Like, and then that's
Yeah.
it. Then you're
That's
out.
it.
You're dead. After
That's
12
right.
hours, you die.
Right. I mean, we're very, very like sensitive to nature. So I kind of feel like they were out there amongst this kind of weird, because it feels like a weird energy there, like a negative, like,
Yes.
Betsy's saying it's negative. And if you're a sensitive person and you're sleeping in that, I wouldn't, because it could overtake you. I kind of feel like it's the combo of him being high and probably getting sleep paralysis and having something overtake him, and it probably did. But, you have to realize the locals will come up with a name for it, and that's probably what they call that.
Oh,
Maybe it's
yeah.
happened to other people, the energy there.
Yeah.
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 Whoa.
And the
Scary.
other thing I feel like was more just her fear. She
Mhm.
heard something, reminded her of something, and she just got scared.
Yeah. Yeah. That's scary. I mean, and
Wild.
we always say that it being something on this plane, if it's a person, that's scarier than a ghost.
It's way scarier. All the things that I've
Horrifying.
experienced, I would experience 10 times before I would experience a person.
Yeah.
That has scared me more in life than all of the things I've seen. People are like, "Aren't you scared?" And I'm like, "Of the other side? What could they do?" Like, no, but am I scared of a man walking behind me? Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
or a man in power. Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
exactly.
scary.
Much more scarier. Send me to the worst kind of creepy place you think. Yeah, it's a way. Absolutely. So I feel like that's what happened. He just kind of picked up on everything and probably wasn't the best place to open himself up to.
Yeah.
And it could have been laced on top of it, on top of everything else.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing
It's just my vibe.
about like kids getting in trouble for stuff, is that they're gonna go find a place where they think they're not gonna get in trouble, and it makes
Right.
it way more dangerous. Like you'd
Absolutely.
be better off just getting caught by your parents in your garage.
Just talk to your kids about it and be honest and upfront about everything, and don't make it a big deal, and you won't make it so mysterious.
Yeah.
Like, this is how this happens, this is how this works, this is how this works, and then this is what will happen to you if you do this, and I'm not gonna freak out. So, I mean, if you make it so mysterious, you're gonna
Yeah.
send them off into some bush.
Into the bush.
The
We
bush.
used to party at, I've talked about this, but at an abandoned mine shaft.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's creepy
You
too.
were just
Yeah.
like, you had to drive. I can't even remember. Like, 2 people knew where it was or something. And like, you would like 4-wheel up. And then
Where
you're
was
just
this? What state was this
in Colorado, in
Okay, that makes
Breckenridge.
sense.
A
That
lot of
makes sense.
abandoned mines around there. But we would party so hard there. And I remember like crawling through and like hanging off the mine, just like being like, are there any ghosts in here? Like all drunk from a 40. It was a
That
blast.
sounds like a fun way to grow up, actually.
It was pretty
Yeah.
fun. It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
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 Oh man, this has been so great getting to talk to you about
Yes.
about your book, and also like what a cool like intuitive reading on the story too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just like check marks. If you're ever like going through stuff, there are paranormal check marks, and you gotta, especially when anybody's like, and then I was high, and then I was this. That's kind of a ding, it's kind of a ding
Yes.
against. And a lot of the check marks are kind of more like, I'm in my room, and then suddenly I hear somebody or someone sits on my bed, and then my phone started doing weird noises. But there's check marks.
Yeah.
But this is very primed to kind of be more a combination of maybe not being clear-headed
Yeah.
and things like this. But it's
Yeah.
pretty extreme. I mean, I'm not saying
Yeah.
the banging your head is
Oh,
pretty
it's so
extreme for
scary.
me.
It's so
Yeah.
scary.
This-
But a certain drug could do that to you too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, it is why people are so hard on teenagers, because like, guys, you don't understand how much damage you can do to yourself so easily.
Easily.
Yes.
And get the wrong thing laced with the wrong thing.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's I
but-
remember that happened like one time in high school. I did not smoke, from this. For some reason, I was just kind of like, no. And then one of
Your
my
intuition.
good friends, my intuition was like, don't do it. And
That's
then
right.
my good friend who did smoke, she was like, I'm pretty sure it was laced with like PCP. 'Cause
I
she
was
had, like, a
literally
bunch of
gonna say I think this had like PCP in it.
Yes, she
I
had
was
like
gonna
just a
see
bunch of weird
were like-
shit happening to her.
what he did. What was described in that letter reminded me of what PCP does to people.
Yes.
I was just about to say it, so Betsy picked that up.
PCP, everybody,
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah, that was the story I was thinking of too, that we in high school bought weed off the street and then we're like, Mrs. Buttersworth is talking to us.
Oh,
It's bad,
no.
guys. And my legs felt like they were gonna, like, I was like, oh, my legs are they're on fire. They're gonna explode.
Whoa!
Oh, no.
Don't, guys.
I was very square. I didn't do any of those things. I was a pretty square one.
Yeah.
Which I talk about, but there was a reason. But I was pretty square, so I skipped over those. But and I also kind of grew up in a cult. I grew up in the Seventh-day Adventist church, so the cult,
Oh,
kinda
Yes.
yeah.
did some things to your
Well,
brain.
Everybody's got to read this book. Tell everyone
I'm
again
so
where
excited to
about the
read it.
book, where to find it.
Yes, the book is Seer, the origin story, a memoir, Adela Lavine on Amazon. Get the hard copy. It's got a gold and black print or
Yes.
Kindle. And you can also catch my podcast, The House Medium. And I know, you guys know, because I hear from you all,
Yeah.
because you guys tell me that
Woo.
you heard me on here. You have quite an army of fans. Just saying,
I
guys.
love it.
You have quite an army of fans.
They rule.
So, yeah, get a reading from Adela, too.
Yes.
Yes, you can get a reading. You can go to adelavine.com and you can follow me on all the socials at Adela Lavine. Isn't it easier to just say all the socials?
Yes,
Now-
yes.
Yeah, it's
All
way
of 'em.
easier.
Do you guys do the socials?
No, we're
I
so
do
lazy.
think so.
Instagram.
Betsy posts
I do
like life
Instagram.
things sometimes on Instagram.
Sometimes, yeah.
A lot of dog stuff. A lot of Wilma.
Best stuff, dog stuff.
Dog stuff.
Wilma.
Well, Adela, thank you so much for coming on
Yes,
and
this
telling
was
us that you
awesome.
had stuff to share. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me bug you and hit you up and being so gracious and having me on. I really appreciate it. You guys are really awesome. Thanks so
Anytime,
much.
Pleasure.
truly.
Right.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Bye.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much for listening to A Funny Feeling.
If you have a paranormal experience that you would like to share, please send us a voice memo, or you can email us just a letter at funnyfeelingpod@gmail.com. I'm Marcy.
I'm Betsy, and don't shit your pants.
That was a HeadGum podcast.